Hello out there, everybody. It is Tuesday. Don't worry. Don't worry. We do have a guest tonight. He's down in the green room. He's currently taking a meditative moment, for lack of a better phrase. We had a little bit of stress getting the show rolling tonight, so he needs his moment. But still, I want to thank everybody tuning in for Let's Talk episode 4. I know we're going at a weird time, but if any of you know my show, I usually change everything up to accommodate my guest. And tonight is really, really important. When I started to do this series, it was formed with two people in mind. One's currently in the chat, and not like I really want to call him out, but guess what? Come on, I'm going to call him out right now. That man right there. He's going to be on the show here really, really soon. Gary, it is so good to see you in here, my brother. And the other guy is my guest tonight, but I'm going to keep him secret for a moment, just for a moment. Travis, how you doing? I am assuming that's Gary, even though I don't know. It could be Big Head. Anywho, Ellie Cat, welcome to the show. So good to see you in here. King Ginger, how you doing? And my favorite Keebler elf ever, Tevin, how are you, my brother? So good to see you back doing beard stuff. I really loved how you did that, the beard roulette. What company am I going to try? We'll let fate decide. That was so cool, brother. It really, really was. I know we have Thanksgiving coming up, so I am grateful for you guys taking a moment out of your time. I know that, with some people doing travel and some people having company over, that your time this week is very, very valuable. I guarantee you tonight, it's going to be really, really worth it. It really, truly is. Because, I'm stalling. I saw my guest moving around down there. This show is really, it's different. And I like the direction it's gone. And I like the fact that you guys allowed it to go this way. Because of your support and your interactions with things, it really gave birth to something totally unique out there. I really want to say it, especially after this last weekend that I had, when I was full of kind of self-doubt about should I shut down everything and just walk away from social media. It's really cool to see some of the neat things people are going through. It's so good to see like some uplifting stories of people's families, cool things that they've got, where they're going. And it's neat to see that. I kind of see my guest getting himself situated. So whenever you're ready, brother, give me that thumbs up and I'll bring you in. Okay, I know you can hear me out there. All right, guys. Here's the person you have been waiting for. It may shock you. It may not. We've got Sober Chef Eric tonight. Yay! Big round of applause. Big round of applause. Big round of applause.
What's up, gentlemen?
Okay, now
how's it going, guys?
I'm going to get this out of the way early before we get into Eric. We had some technical difficulties. His desktop didn't really want to work much, so he's on his phone kind of looking at the chat and at the phone at the same time. So if it looks like he's off in the corner, no, he's not having a Colorado fun day. It's just what he's doing. Eric, my brother, welcome to the show. And like I said in the opening, when I started this, you were one of two people I really, truly wanted to have on. I don't know of a bigger mental health advocate than you. I really don't.
Well, thank you.
And now, like I usually do, before we get into the fun, give us the elevator pitch about Eric.
Well, it all kind of started around 10 years old when I got molested by a friend of a family, and I started self-medicating, and I went undiagnosed for 30 some odd years. Now I've been in recovery for over 11, and I've been sober. I just celebrated 11 years. Found out I have ADHD, and that's kind of why I've had a interesting work history, and so
okay.
Oh,
I still
Gary,
hate you for some of that. I still hate you for some of that history, but I love you. What? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Gary, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, yeah, go. You're
fine. Yeah. So, formerly trained savory chef, formerly trained sushi chef, former draft beer technician, backstage security guard, at concerts, worked with kids that were on autism spectrum. And now I pick up trash for a living, and I'm outside Monday through Friday. Today was an easy day, 21,000 steps.
Nice.
So,
but I also want to
thank
take
you,
this
Ryan.
once. It's actually Tevin. Remember him? Our little Keebler elf buddy?
Yeah. Yeah, Tevin.
I
Yeah.
thought you said
Whipped
Ryan. Sorry.
cream.
Exactly. We don't talk about Strawberry Dream anymore. He's gone away. But I want to take this one step further back. You're a veteran. You joined the military. Not to mention,
Yep.
you were a fucking drill sergeant. And this is what trips me out.
Yeah, I was Army Reserve Infantry Drill Sergeant.
Yeah, but this is what trips me out. You're so laid back right now. I can't imagine you in your youth in the Round Brown. I can't.
Yeah, well, it was a job. It was an interesting job, and I can still get in that mindset in just a couple seconds if I need to. You know, it was so ingrained in me that if I need to start barking, I can bark.
As much as I love you, sober chef with the knife hand, I just might break out laughing. I just might, because it's like, oh, that's cute. You're trying to be, oh, look at you trying to be all hardcore. Look at that. But that's just me. And
it's just like, go ahead.
No, bring it.
Well, like when I did backstage security at concerts, and I used to work on the barricades, and if I need to put a mother effer against the wall, I will. So
I keep getting this flash in my head that we're gonna get serious. It's like, you won't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. That deep dark side of
you don't
Eric
want to press.
Yeah, it's like that deep dark side of Eric comes out, and it's like, oh my god, is he Gator from like the other guys? Gator, don't play that. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, homie, don't play that. And you want to push my buttons, mess with my family, mess with my friends, mess with a woman, mess with a child.
Yeah.
And you're going to hit a switch you don't want to hit.
I agree. But I know that you wanted to talk about something. You brought it up in the green room. Let's get it out of the way early, okay?
Yeah.
Your community out there, and I'm talking the whole state, just got rocked. How are you doing?
My town.
Yeah.
My town. I live about 10 minutes away from Club Q, which is where, if you haven't watched any of the news, there was a shooting Saturday night, 5 killed, 24 injured. And the gunman was taken down and subdued by a veteran.
And this is what kills me.
I understand he had the crap beat out of him before the cops got there.
I am so proud of the vet for acting quickly. So he gets beat by his own firearm, and then he gets stomped repeatedly by a drag queen. You went in there to do harm and got your ass beat. But how are you doing? I mean, seriously, how are you processing all that?
I personally didn't know anybody involved, but I have quite a few friends that knew people that were there. And one of my friends, she lost her friend Danny, who was a bartender there. So
my condolences.
Tough weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday, I catered my nephew's second birthday party. It was construction themed, and I did build your own tacos, and Saturday was great.
I remember.
And then I wake up Sunday morning.
That party go okay?
It went good. Yeah. Yeah, I got all the food going, and then as soon as they cut the cake, I was out of there.
Yeah, but
because there was around 50 people. So
to everything's perfect, and then, like you were saying, you wake up to that.
Yeah. I wake up and get on my social media Sunday morning and, just devastated. I mean, there's been, kind of the whole school shooting thing started at Columbine. And I remember when that happened, I was living up in Denver, and my roommate's niece and nephews went to Columbine.
Oh,
and she couldn't get hold of him, didn't know what was going on. And, then we had Aurora and, in Colorado Springs a few years back, we had Planned Parenthood. And, so Colorado's been the scene of some horrible mass shootings. And I just, I don't think I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a second, but I don't think that regulations on weapons or anything, that's not going to do it, because people who want to do harm are going to do harm. What people need to start doing is we need to start educating our kids on learning how to process their emotions.
Yes.
And recognize their feelings as they happen, because, you may act angry, but the base emotion behind your anger is your guilt, your shame, your fears,
Mm-hmm.
and, hate is a learned thing. It's not something we're born with. It's something that's taught. It's something that's learned.
Agreed.
And
100%. 100.
If we start teaching kids how to process their emotions, well, then maybe you won't have kids that need to bully because they feel like crap about themselves. So to make themselves feel better, they go after the littler kid, And if you stop bullying, then you're going to stop a lot of the things that lead to these school shootings. And, so I think the only way to stop these mass shootings is for people to start learning how to process their emotions properly and healthfully.
I agree with that 100%, because, and this is the only way I can kind of piggyback it. When you and I were growing up, you didn't get a participation trophy because you showed up. There was a score kept. There was a winner. There was a loser. If you lost, you tried harder. It motivated you to do better. Now, there is a fine line between like bullying and motivating someone to do better, because I live in Washington State. I have to tell you honestly, there's certain points I love the countryside, but I hate the climate where I can't tell my son in public, "You're a moron, stop that." Because I've got 80 parents with their phones out calling Child Protective Services saying I'm emotionally stunting his growth. We had a mass shooting up here a couple years ago because a high school football player's girlfriend broke up with him. He couldn't handle it, so he went home, picked out mom and dad's firearm, came to school, and put lead down range.
Yeah.
I think we, as citizens, and especially guys and veterans, which is another reason why I wanted you on here, you're a huge advocate for this. You've got to do better and get away from that fear that's gripping you inside. If I'd have went with my gut, I'd never been with my better half, because I was too afraid to do anything.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, let me take a chance. And now I've got a family. You yourself have heard me vent about so many things. And I love the fact when I called you mother the other day when we were talking, we got a good laugh out of it because you knew it was coming from a place of respect, And for the record, everybody, on Take It Back Tuesday, this is not the mom I'm talking about, okay? No, not at all. But I like how you've been able to take everything from your life and turn it positive. Just you talking about the molestation part and the self-medication part, how you've been open about when you were committed. I was thinking about that earlier. Didn't you say like you were in a t-shirt, board shorts, and flip-flops?
Yep.
I mean, but you've done so much. Your fundraisers for, treatments. Was it a treatment center? You've done a couple.
No, it's a active sober community.
Okay.
So we're in, I think, 24 different states now, and I don't know how many different cities. We've helped over 80,000 people in recovery. So we do, like myself, I used to teach cooking classes. I used to teach boxing and rock climbing. Now I host our monthly Together Families Recover dinner.
Yeah.
So I have a budget. I prepare the food, and then my friend, she takes care of the activity. It's a 2-hour thing. So normally the first hour is eating and socializing. And the second hour is like we'll play charades or have an activity or whatever.
Yeah.
Like hungry hippos or whatever. So
And Gary, I say this with lots of love and respect for this man on screen with me. If he ever tells you you're fucking up, you need to take a really good hard look at your life, because when I say he's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt, I ain't fucking lying. But
yeah, I've called Chris on his bullshit in the past.
Yeah. Sometimes I won't lie. When I know I've done something wrong and I see that phone ring and it's got his number on the caller ID, I'm like, oh, I know what's coming. All right, get it out of the way, But those are the kind of
people. It always comes from a place of love and no judgment,
Yeah, and that's what you need in your life. And that's something I think a lot more people need nowadays. Because, especially on social media, all right, you can put up whatever face you want to put up. I can shoot a video and I can talk about, don't beat your cat. And that video stops and I turn around and I'm clunking Mr. Feathersworth right in the mouth going, you moved on my chair. You can put up whatever, but it's that you've got to drop that mask and be who you are. Because I think there's that magic and that spark of insanity, like Robin Williams says, that just makes everything genuine, And that's one of the things.
Yeah, and he's...
Go ahead.
I was going to say Robin Williams is a classic example of people having no clue going on inside somebody's head.
Yeah.
I mean, he took his life. There's been many celebrities that have killed themselves. Hell, the Power Ranger just a few days ago, he committed suicide.
Hey, don't think I didn't see that, Gary. Don't think I didn't see that.
It's not just the veteran community that needs to learn how to process their mental health. Granted, 22 a day is a shame.
But see, even then, I've seen different reports where it's not 22, it's 44. Then I've seen some people tell me it's not 44, it's 41. And I've even seen other people telling me it's 17. And I'm like, but still, one is an abomination. One.
Yeah.
When you're going more than one daily, and that's a small sample size of states that are actually reporting. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and that doesn't count the ones that self-medicate and overdose, or self-medicate and get cirrhosis of the liver and die from health complications. It doesn't count those. And since COVID, everything's gone up by at least 33%.
Yes. Because of that isolation and that. This is the only way I can describe it. We were born to be a pack. We as humans have that pack mentality. And now that you've been cut off from it, I mean, I made this point a while ago on my former show going, walk into a Walmart without a mask and have allergies. See how you get treated.
Yeah.
what we've done to ourselves in the name of I need to be safe makes me go, oh shit, are we ever going to get back from this? Just everything from stupid people to tribal politics. And no, we're not going political tonight because that's like the third rail of YouTube. And yep, nope.
Yeah.
But it's amongst all that where you
But
have
yeah,
people
I mean,
like you who are calm and narrow.
well,
You're one in a million.
yeah, well, people helped me get here, I wasn't like this on day one, that's for damn sure. Day one of recovery, I was a balling, exhausted mess, but I've done talk therapy, I've done EMDR, I've done a lot of support groups, and I even lived in a group home for 2.5 years, with 17 other people with severe mood disorders, and talking about living in a crazy house, I lived in a crazy house.
I
There was,
I don't doubt it.
18 of us in there, and we all had severe and persistent mood disorders,
You
So
also
I learned a
did,
lot about myself, and I
you,
learned a lot about other symptoms that other people deal with,
yeah, but you also did one thing over this whole time that I've known you that has always blown me away. You got weak one day and you gave me a call and went, I need help. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Instantly. It
Yeah,
was,
my parents' anniversary, we had some friends of the family in town, and one of them was the guy that molested me.
yep.
And I seriously wanted to drink that day. I seriously wanted to go to that restaurant and beat the living F out of him. And Chris talked me down.
I will admit, for those of you watching this and those who are going to be on the replay squad, it was really weird being on the other side of that because normally that's me calling Eric going, this motherfucker, oh my God. And Eric's like, dude, no felonies, no stupid. But it's when you see somebody who's got it together, and I've preached about this all the time, listen, hear, be open for them. And it was so awesome to give that back to them that day. Yes, for those of you who are worried, yes, I talked somebody out of drinking. It can happen. It has happened. So when I say I'm there for you, I'm there for you. But there's
Yep.
also something you wanted to talk about tonight. And I remember this in our phone call. You wanted to talk about affirmations. So I'm going to give you the floor, my brother.
Well, not necessarily affirmations, but gratitudes. I like to do gratitudes daily. I normally do them in the morning, like when I first wake up, and granted, in a lot of aspects, it's not good to compare yourself to others. You're your own person and your own being, and, you don't need to be the next Michael Jordan, just be the best you. And, when I say gratitudes, like I'm grateful for my family. I am grateful for my community.
Mhm.
I'm grateful for my friends that will help me when I need it, whatever the case may be, whether it's moving or like I'm doing my first 5K, doing a turkey trot on Thursday. And my running coach, he was checking on me. He's like, you think you're ready? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, who you doing it with? I'm
Sorry.
like, I was planning on doing it by myself,
It's like the most honest answer
and
ever. You think you're ready?
yeah,
Gotta
I
love
know I'll
you.
finish. Whether I jog the whole time or not, pretty doubtful, but I'll finish, And he's like, no, you're not going to do it by yourself. And so then I put it on my Facebook after I registered, and I got a couple other friends are going to kind of come down and join me. And a lot of my friends that I hang out with here in the Springs are in the Phoenix, and a lot of them are at least 10 years younger than me and very physically fit and active, and you know and so they're going to go do a 5K with this old fat bald guy. they're going to be there to support me.
He
And
is.
I'm
He is.
grateful.
And you see, it's one of those, and you got me thinking about it because we do that in this house. Like when we get up in the morning, every morning I'll go in and wake my kids up and be like something different, like, this is your captain speaking, better unass those beds. Or, old school with the trash can and the wood paddle in the middle going, get up, get up, get up, get up. But it's hey, sleep okay? Did you have good dreams? Do you need love? Too bad. Daddy needs love. Come here. And we have weird little nicknames for each other. And I tell them every day how much I love them, how much they help change my life, how they help save my life. Because it's weird. And there's somebody in the chat. I'm looking at you when I'm saying this. It is so weird how you think everything is dead. It's gone. You can't move forward. Then you see your child. And you go, oh, fuck, shit just got real. But that is just great that you do that, You're leading from the front.
Yeah, and another reason why it's a lot easier for me to tell my story now than it was in the beginning.
Well, yeah.
In the beginning, I couldn't do it with tears. Now I can do it, and I'm proud to do it because you never know who needs to hear what you have to say.
Agreed.
And somebody else hearing me tell my story might give them the courage to talk to somebody or talk to me, or, I've had people reach out to me after live streams, and, on the Replay Squad, you can put my contact info down below, Chris, and people can reach out to me via Instagram or email or YouTube or whatever.
I will make sure that happens because I'm not really trying to hide the guests, but I want people to tune in and be shocked by who's here. It's not your everyday, hey, let's talk about this product. Oh my God, my life sucks. Okay, I'm going to paint something today. We're talking about real things, sometimes in a comical way.
Yeah.
But in other times, you've got to go heavy. And it's not a fat joke, but if you want heavy, we got Eric. He's gone through so much. And hey, I'm right there with you. My daddy always said, if you're proud of something, build a house over it. Okay. Yeah. Hey. But people need to be able to just know it's okay to talk. Because the first time I called you, I was like, shit, what am I doing? And then I started talking to you, and you have this way of putting people at ease and being like, dude, it's cool. I get you. Just get it out. Okay, so where are you going to hide the body? Oh, you didn't think of that part, did you? It's how you do it and how you roll with it, and you're there. And you don't make it sound like, God, how can I put... when you've gone to see a therapist and they suck, and right away after the first 3 minutes, it's like, well, here's a fucking wasted hour. You're not that way.
Yeah.
You're invested.
Trust me, I've been through my fair share of therapists.
There was one I had. It reminded me of Andy Peters, the bearded practitioner. Because you sit down and it's like, hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm like, do all you fuckers use that as an opening line? I'm like, come on.
Yeah. The one I hate is, and how does that make you feel?
If I could process that, I wouldn't need you,
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But you're the first one I'm going to hit with this question. And I think it's important that you're the first. If you could reach out to somebody struggling watching this video right now, what would you say?
Well, there's a lot of resources out there. No matter what kind of community you're in, there are resources out there for free that will have people there to listen and not judge. And it's hard to open up if you think you're going to be judged for what you say. And knowing that you can talk to somebody without any judgments is key, because it's hard enough to be honest with yourself and then be honest with somebody else, where in the back of your head you're going to go, man, they're going to think I'm a fuck up, and that was my problem. So I would say, with all the resources out there, no matter what community you're in, if you're in the LGBTQ, if you're in the veteran, if you're in the active military, if you're a one-legged bassoon player, there's going to be resources out there for you,
I like how you brought that up about being honest with yourself. How long did it take you to get to that point, would you say? Now, I've got an idea in my head what I think you're going to say, but I'm kind of curious.
To admit I didn't know what the F I was doing was the night I went to the psych ward. But to really embrace and realize I was where I was at because of myself and because of the decisions I made. What's up, Aaron Rodgers? And I have to live with the consequences of decisions I've made in the past, because before it was always somebody else's fault.
Right.
My boss was being a jerk. This person doesn't know what's going on. They have no clue what I go through, and it was through therapy and support groups that I learned I'm where I'm at because of me, because the decisions I made, now I'm being held accountable. And I have to hold myself accountable for the decisions and the actions I take. And that took me a while. I can't give you a time frame, but it took a while for that to really sink in,
Hey, Aaron, I'm going to tell you this honestly, bro. You got this. It's okay to be a little nervous. Totally okay. You're going to kill it. When you get up there and you start talking, you'll get in your zone and you're going to be fine. You got it, man.
And one little tip I can give: focus on the back of the room, because you can't see the faces that clearly.
Yep.
And think, how am I going to reach this person? And that will help with public speaking immensely, because I used to be a lead singer, and the way I got prepared was this,
yeah.
And that's not a healthy way of doing it. Yeah, but, getting in front of people and telling my story, at first I used to be really nervous. And so I would just try to focus on somebody at the back of the room, or just focus on the back of the room, so I wasn't making eye contact with anybody. That way I wasn't feeling judged. And, so finding a focal point to concentrate on instead of an individual, or,
Garth Brooks
that's
does
just a little trick that helps me.
Yeah, Garth Brooks does something very, very similar to that. When his stage is set up and he comes out on stage and he looks to the furthest point back, he starts thinking, how am I going to reach that one person? And Garth, he was born from Kiss, Freddie Mercury, massive live shows. He is a hyperactive circus monkey on crack, no offense. But he's focusing on the dude so far back while he's giving that live feed. It's just like, wow, when you go look at his concerts and think of it from that perspective. But Aaron, you got this, man. You totally got this. And Eric, you said something a moment ago. It is so important. I am trying to drill that in my kids. Accountability. Just absolute accountability, because if you can master that now, my boy's 13. If you can take accountability for your actions now, you're going to be better off in life than a lot of other people were. And Aaron, don't worry, bro. That's what we're here for. Okay? Seriously, it's what we're here for. We believe in you, even though you are a toddler. Had to get you, Aaron. Damn it. I'm old. Ugh. But it's
I was gonna
just
say I'm older than you, Chris. So
see, everybody, there is somebody in this community older than me. I know. It's a stretch, but still.
yeah, I,
Even
I
my
hit the
girl.
double nickel in January.
Ooh, congrats, man.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I
But
didn't do it. My girls
yeah,
just get
and
your reading
like
logs filled out.
with
Do
the
you have your chores done? You know? Sorry, good.
and you give them choices, and okay, if you make this choice, this is going to be, you know, what you're going to be held responsible for. If you make this choice,
Yep.
this, just like giving them the option between pizza and tacos. You know,
Well, one
if
of
you
the things
choose
is,
the pizza and we have tacos, you can't have any tacos.
yeah, it's one of
You
the
know,
things they go through a whole list of rules in the morning going to school. It's just little simple things like, no lying, make good choices, but it's good actions, good choices, good behavior. It's just little simple things and like getting it into their head. I get it. You're young, you want to go to the bus stop, you want to screw around with everybody, but it's like stay focused because if you get hyper now, when you're on the bus, you're going to get even more hyper. And when you get to school, you're going to have a hard time calming down. And it's always the same thing. What happens when you're hyper? We make bad choices. And what happens with bad choices? Really bad decisions. It's like, please remember this. Please, please.
Well, and
Oh,
that's another thing where if they taught cognitive behavioral therapy, in grade school, early junior high, it would teach them how to process their emotions and feelings and, understand that I might be feeling angry, but it's not because I'm really angry. It's because I'm feel guilty, you know.
or
And when you learn how to process emotions in a healthy way, it's a lot easier to make good decisions instead of bad ones.
it was like this morning, okay? Um, Amber, the brat, always takes forever to get ready to go to school. So if we have to walk out the door at 0750, she's getting ready at 0745 just because she needs that extra time. And she was screwing around this morning and laying back and putting feet out, and doing this and putting feet out. Well, Brianna tripped over Amber. It's an accident. It happens. But you would have thought that someone took a baseball bat to her forehead with the whining and the screaming and the overacting. I'm like, right before we walk out the door, come on. I know you're embarrassed that you tripped. I know you fell on your butt and you're like, oh my God, what the heck? But I'm like, you'd be laughing if Caden did it, right? Yeah. Well, let's get over it and move on. It's like
Yeah.
you can see it. If you want the extra love, come here. I'll happily give you hugs because you're going to be a teenager sooner or later and hate my ass, but I'm going to soak it up now.
Yeah. Well, and like one thing I say, if somebody notices somebody doing something cruddy to me or something like that, I say, well, if that's worth thing it's gonna happen to me today, I got it out of the way.
But I like the other thing you've told me. It's like, is this person really worth all this stress? No. Then you learned something, didn't you? I mean,
Yeah.
my God, it may take me a while to realize it, like with a certain person I called you about recently. And I'm like, I got to vent. Just what the. And you're like, so do you really need this stress? No. And that's when the shut up, mom, came out and we had a good laugh. But it's being able to see those things, being able to process them like we've been talking about. I'm guilty of failing. I got that German Irish
Oh, so
blood,
am I.
hot headed as fuck, you know. But you know,
Oh yeah, I try not to be judgmental, but I'll be in the car and
like
be like,
this guy right here. Yeah, him, the Baltimore guy. Yeah. Screw Baltimore and frickin' Orioles having a better record than my Red Sox. Okay, I'm better. As you were saying, you're in your car, you were being guilty. Come on.
yeah, like just on my way home from work, I pull up to a 4-way stop. I'm stopped. This other person's coming up, slows down, and continues to go when I had the right of way. I was stopped. They didn't. And I was like, you bitch. And then I'm like, well, maybe she's just in a hurry. I don't know. But I still get judgmental. I try not to be, but I still have my moments. I'm far from being a saint.
I was gonna say, I think we all do, and like I try to point out to my better half, the cuteness factor had road rage in a shopping cart in Walmart. I'm like, don't you think we need to modify our behavior a little? She's freaking out in the freaking frozen food section, you know? When you've got a 3-year-old screaming, move your fat ass. I'm like, oh, we're going to get barred from Walmart. Damn it. All right. So, another interesting question.
Just a second. Gary had a question. So it's Eric and some buildings. Are you talking about the Phoenix, Gary? Because we do have facilities in cities, but we also partner, like here in the Springs, we partner with 3 different rock climbing gyms. We partner with a few CrossFit gyms. We partner with a yoga studio. We partner with a boxing place.
He's picking on me because I'm old.
Yeah. But the Phoenix, like I say, we do have facilities, but we also partner with local businesses, and it helps them. Since it's a nonprofit, 501c, it
you see, I was trying to get out
it
of it.
was,
Here's my response, Gary. Just because you got your first short, curly, and married the first woman you ever saw naked, just saying. When you can grow that, ginger beard back, we'll talk. Nah, Eric, he is a really, really good friend. I literally found his company on page 86 of Amazon. And it's been an interesting experience with him ever since. He is literally the reason mental health is talked about on my channel. Seriously.
Nice.
He took a moment in the middle of a live and went, I want to talk about something. And poof, it got there. Oh my God, your first white hair? Your first? Did you put it in picture frame? Pose next to it every so often going, I love you, Gary. Brewer, what's up, brother? Okay, so as we're winding all this up, I'm going to ask you another little difficult one, then we'll get into the wrap up and the Turkey Day fun and all that cool shit. If you had to give advice to anybody to help them be more accountable, what helped you really stop your bullshit and start taking more accountability?
It was having a therapist that got me, and he was like the first therapist I had that I felt really was invested in me. And he would call me on my BS, and you'd be like, okay, let's look at that situation from a different point of view. Okay, now, do you still think they're at fault, or do you think you were at fault?
There you go.
And so it was something that I had to learn, and it was a tough lesson to learn. To realize that it's nobody else's fault for where I'm at. It's because of the decisions I made, and you know, whereas lately I think I've been making better decisions, and I'm in a job I really enjoy, and I'm still not quite ready for dating, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, but every day's a cycle, and you remember that from your time in the service. Every day's a cycle. Every day's a progression. Every day you're moving forward. It's, and I agree with Brewer right here. Good for you. I love the fact that you're able to look at it from that other point of view, which is something my grandmother told me. The best piece of advice I ever got about dating: if you're about to do something really fucking stupid, look at it from her side. Would you want her doing what you're about to do, or he, depending who your preference is, or I don't know, pick one of the 80 billion genders out there, okay? But I'm just saying, look at it from the other side. And then if you're upset by that, don't do it. Just don't do it. Or
Yeah.
like I tell my son, if you're going to giggle for more than 30 seconds before you do it, don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, I've made that wrong decision many times.
Been there, done that. Got a bunch of t-shirts. But you're on the right side of the dirt. You're still drawing breath. You got a place to live. You got food in your belly, even though you're vegan. Don't get you guys. Don't get you guys. But still works for you.
One of the things, when I was in Drill Sergeant Academy, one of my drill sergeant instructors, he used to always say, every day above ground's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know that means I'm alive. Well, he was a tunnel rat in Vietnam.
Oh, shit.
So
sorry.
When he said it takes on even more meaning. So yeah, he still had. I saw his feet. Jungle rot had messed his feet up.
Yeah.
And so when he said that, it really took on a whole new meaning.
That's a whole new, kind of like, you'll like this, and we're gonna hit the wrap up. I'm watching a YouTuber. It's the Fat Electrician. He's former military, and he takes really weird things and does great little videos about them. But he did one on the Marine Corps birthday ball, and he's like, the two most ingenious people on the planet are stoners trying to make a new bong, and infantry trying to figure out new ways to kill you. I'm like, yeah, that right there, because he was talking about a machine gun that the Marine Corps cobbled together from 8 different firearms in Korea. And he's like, it was so deadly, there was only 3 of them ever made. I'm like, that's just so point on about stoners and grunts.
Yeah. And I've been both.
And that just scares me on so many levels, I could just, we can go on another hour about that, but still, I'm going to behave. But we do have the little wrap up, because like I said, I set a heart out because of your night meds. Really respectful of the time that you're giving me tonight. I know that a lot of people are traveling. A lot of people have like Turkey Day plans. And like I said in the beginning, families showing up. So for all you guys who have stuck with us this long, thank you. For everybody on the replay squad catching it, make sure you give me that hashtag replay squad. And if I forget to put Eric's contact info down below, remind me. I want to make sure it's there, just simply because if you need someone to talk to, I will tell you from personal experience, this is the guy right here. Right here. He's not going to come with you and bury the body, but he's going to mock you in a nice, polite way and saying, "Did you forget this? Did you forget this? Did you forget this?" And he's got so many interesting life
I'll still help
experiences.
you bury the body.
Depending if, same grid square and, the alibi and everything else. Yeah, I got you. I got you. But now, Mr. Sober Chef, we've got one last one for you. Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Stuffing by far.
We talking like in the turkey butt, or are we talking like stovetop made on the stove?
No stovetop. That stuff is evil and packed full of stuff that's really bad for you. But, you got to do what you got to do. Personally, I like to do a mixture of stuffing and dressing, which is dressing is a Southern thing. It's made with cornbread, and stuffing's made with bread cubes. And I like to use a mixture of both. So I'll make some cornbread, and then I'll just cheat and buy the, like the Petridge Farms.
Pre-cut, the pre-cut bread cubes. Yeah.
Yep. And then I use mirepoix, which is celery, onions, and carrots, and I use mushrooms and chicken broth and a lot of garlic, and then put it in a your typical Pyrex baking dish, and then smother that with gravy.
I think everybody's got those, and you're old school if you got the really, really old ones that are like the white and the blue covering, and everyone's grandma's got a set of those, but still.
Yep.
All right, Eric,
but it's not turkey dinner without stuffing.
I agree. But we are going to pull the ripcord a little early tonight, just out of respect and the fact that I need to go terrorize my children. I hear some weird sounds coming up. I want to thank you for coming in tonight. Like I said, you were a dream guest for me simply because you have been such an advocate. And that's the only word I can use, is an advocate for it's okay not to be okay, but we're going to talk about it. You have been non-judgmental, you have been supportive, and you have been a massive brother ever since I've known you. Even in my dumbest fucking days, you've always been there going, we're good, don't worry, come on, keep moving forward, let's go.
Well, that's kind of why I started my social media presence, is I wanted to show people that you can be a massive screw up and still be okay. You can turn things around. You can, if I can get better, anybody can get better.
I agree. But on that wonderful note, guys, we're going to have a video dropping tomorrow. Nothing on Thanksgiving. Go enjoy the holidays. Don't worry about watching social media. Don't get in a fight with drunk Uncle Fred about the Cowboys game on TV or politics. Just enjoy defiling yourself with deviled eggs. If you're not Dutch ovening your better half that night, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm going to say. Yep. But we're just going to hit that little exit. Eric, don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk to you in the green room real quick. Everybody, thank you so much. And like I said, if you're still in the replay squad at this point, #replay squad.